My beloved child, the light has guided you back to me once more. Listen carefully to what I am about to share with you. This is not a message for everyone. This is meant only for those who truly walk the divine path, for those who have been set apart for a higher calling. If you are not genuinely aligned with the divine purpose, this message will not resonate with you. But if you are here right now, hearing this voice, it is not an accident. It is not coincidence. The timing of this message reaching you at this exact moment is divinely orchestrated, carefully planned, intentionally delivered. There is a real danger that arises when my chosen ones begin to surpass those around them spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And the truth is, most are completely unprepared for what comes next. When you rise, when you elevate, when you step into new levels of awareness and authority, something shifts in your environment. Not everyone can handle it. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will celebrate it. This message will open your eyes to what is happening around you and what is happening within you. The internal shifts, the external changes, the spiritual recalibration taking place even now. Stay with me until the very end, because what I am about to reveal may protect you from unnecessary pain, from deep confusion, from battles you were never meant to fight. If this is already resonating with your spirit, if you can already feel the truth of these words touching something deep within you, show your alignment by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It helps this message reach other beloved souls who desperately need to hear it. The moment heaven paused, what already happened without you knowing, my child? I want you to slow your breathing for a moment. Stop everything you are doing and listen with your spirit. Not just with your ears, not with your mind, but with the deepest part of who you are. What I am about to explain is the reason your life started feeling different without any logical explanation. The reason things shifted internally even when nothing changed externally. The reason you began sensing something profound was happening even though you could not name it or describe it or understand it fully. Long before anything changes on earth, long before manifestation occurs in the physical realm, heaven always moves first. The divine never waits for human awareness to act. The divine never asks permission, never seeks approval, never announces intentions ahead of time. The divine acts first, then reveals later. And in your case, my beloved, something already happened while you were not looking, while you were busy questioning yourself, while you were wondering if you were making progress, while you were doubting your path. Something occurred in the realm of the spirit that you were completely unaware of. There was a specific moment, a precise instant, when heaven paused over your name. Not because you were loud, not because you were demanding attention, not because you were making noise or trying to be seen, but because you endured, because you kept going when clarity was completely absent, because you prayed even when your prayers felt heavy, felt burdensome, felt like they were going nowhere, because you stayed obedient when obedience felt totally unrewarded, when it felt like a waste, when it felt pointless. That is when the divine intervened quietly, firmly, permanently. Many believe that spiritual breakthroughs must feel dramatic. They expect lightning from heaven, audible voices, thunder, instant relief, visible signs, undeniable proof. But the truth is, the deepest movements of the divine are silent. They are quiet. They are subtle. They are judicial, like verdicts issued in a courtroom. They are decisions made in the courts of heaven, authoritative pronouncements that carry eternal weight, not loud announcements made on earth for everyone to hear and witness. What happened to you, my child, was not emotional. It was not about feelings. It was not dependent on how you felt in that moment. It was authorized, legal, official. A verdict was issued over your life while you were still questioning yourself, while you were still doubting, while you were still wondering if you were enough, if you were qualified, if you were truly called. The decision was made while you were still unsure. You did not feel it happening because heaven protected you from the full weight of it. Had you known too early what was being released, what was being authorized, what was being set in motion, fear would have crept into your heart. Pride might have tried to rise up and take root. Doubt could have interfered with the process. So the divine, in infinite wisdom and mercy, kept you unaware while securing the outcome, while locking in the result, while sealing your assignment. That is mercy. That is protection. That is wisdom beyond human understanding. There was a specific point in your journey where your faith was being measured, where it was being tested, where it was being weighed and examined. But you were never told it was a test. You were never informed that you were being observed. Heaven was watching quietly, observing carefully, taking note of how you handled delay without answers, how you handled silence without explanation, how you handled misunderstanding without defense, how you handled emotional fatigue without giving up. You were watched when absolutely no one was applauding you. You were examined during the times when you thought you were completely forgotten, totally overlooked, entirely abandoned. And it was precisely in that season, in that difficult and lonely season, that heaven responded with authority. If you are feeling the weight of this truth, pause and comment, "I receive this below." Let your declaration be witnessed. You see, my beloved, heaven does not react to words alone. Heaven does not respond to eloquent speeches or impressive declarations. The divine responds to alignment, to authenticity, to the truth of who you are when no one is watching. The divine is not moved by how much you speak about faith or how loudly you proclaim your beliefs, but by how you actually carry yourself when faith feels costly, when it requires sacrifice, when it demands everything from you and seems to give nothing back. You kept your integrity intact in moments where compromise would have been so much easier, so much more comfortable, so much more accepted. You restrained yourself. You held back. You exercised self-control when retaliation was completely justified, when getting even would have made perfect sense, when fighting back seemed like the only reasonable response. You stayed kind. You remained gentle. You chose compassion when bitterness would have been totally understandable, when hardening your heart would have seemed like simple self-protection. Those quiet moments, those private decisions, those internal choices that no one else saw or knew about, they did not go unnoticed by heaven. Every single one was recorded, observed, honored. There was a spiritual checkpoint that you crossed without any ceremony, without any announcement, without any celebration. A point of no return, a threshold, a line in the spirit. Once you crossed it, your assignment could no longer be aborted by the enemy. It could no longer be delayed by circumstances. It could no longer be transferred to someone else. It was locked in, sealed, permanent. And when that happened, when you crossed that invisible line, heaven did not celebrate loudly. Heaven did not throw a party. Instead, heaven became still, quiet, reverent, because what had just been confirmed over you carried weight, it carried responsibility, it carried eternal significance. This is precisely why your life started feeling strange afterward. Not worse. Understand, not bad, just unfamiliar. Different. New old motivations that used to drive you suddenly stopped having power. Old desires that used to excite you completely lost their appeal. Old goals that used to seem so important faded into irrelevance. You began to feel disconnected, detached, separated from things that once felt totally normal, completely natural, absolutely central to your identity. That was not confusion, my child. That was not you losing your way. That was transition. That was transformation. That was your spirit adjusting, recalibrating, realigning to a completely new spiritual jurisdiction, a different level of authority, a higher realm of operation. You started noticing that certain people could no longer reach you emotionally the way they used to. Conversations that once held your attention now felt empty, hollow, draining. Environments that used to feel comfortable now felt restrictive, suffocating, incompatible with who you were becoming. This was not judgment on your part. This was discernment awakening. This was your spirit recognizing misalignment, detecting frequency differences, sensing spiritual incompatibility. Heaven does not upgrade you and leave you in the same circles. Heaven does not expand you and expect you to stay in spaces that no longer fit. The people who were assigned to your previous season were not always assigned to your next season. Some were only meant to walk with you for a portion of the journey, not the entirety of it. And this is where many struggle, my child. They try to carry people into seasons those people were never meant to enter. They exhaust themselves trying to maintain connections that heaven has already released. They feel guilty for boundaries that are actually divine protection. Let me be clear. You are not responsible for making everyone understand your journey. You are not required to justify your growth to those who are intimidated by it. You are not obligated to shrink yourself to make others comfortable with their own stagnation. Their presence served a purpose. Their role was significant, but their assignment has concluded. And when heaven closes a door on a relationship, on a connection, on a season, it is not cruelty. It is completion. It is divine timing. It is protection from what would have hindered you, distracted you, delayed you. You may have felt guilt about outgrowing certain relationships. You may have questioned whether something was wrong with you for no longer resonating with people you once felt close to. Let me release you from that guilt right now. You did not betray anyone by evolving. You did not abandon anyone by growing. You honored the journey heaven set before you, the spiritual shift you did not notice. My beloved, something changed in you that you did not consciously register. Your spiritual senses sharpened. Your discernment increased. Your ability to perceive truth from deception grew stronger. You started noticing patterns you previously missed. You began sensing energies before situations unfolded. You felt warnings before danger arrived. This was not coincidence. This was upgrade. Heaven does not release authority without equipping the vessel first. You may have noticed that your dreams became more vivid, more symbolic, more prophetic. You may have experienced moments where you knew something before it was spoken, where you felt a shift in the atmosphere before circumstances changed, where you sensed truth or deception without needing evidence. This is your spirit communicating in ways your mind is still learning to interpret. You are being trained to operate from a higher level of awareness, a deeper place of knowing, a more refined sensitivity to the movement of the divine. Some of you have felt this as a burden, the weight of seeing what others cannot see, the loneliness of knowing what others refuse to acknowledge, the exhaustion of carrying awareness that has no earthly validation. But let me reframe this for you. What you are experiencing is not a burden. It is a blessing. It is activation. It is preparation for assignment. If this message is bringing clarity to confusion you have been carrying, take a moment to leave a super thanks. Your support helps keep this channel bringing divine messages to those who need them most. It is your way of partnering with heaven's work. You were being prepared while you thought you were just surviving. Every closed door taught you trust. Every delayed answer taught you patience. Every painful separation taught you discernment. You are no longer who you were. You think differently. You respond differently. You choose differently. And the people closest to you noticed, even if they could not articulate what changed. Some celebrated your growth. Some felt threatened by it. Some distanced themselves because they could no longer relate. That was not rejection. That was realignment. Not everyone is assigned to your next season. Some were only meant to walk with you for a portion of the journey. Their departure was not betrayal. It was completion. Honor what was, but do not force what is no longer. Your responsibility now is stewardship. Revelation changes responsibility. Once you understand what has already been done, how you move matters more than ever. This is not the season to rush, prove, or announce. This is the season to steward what has been entrusted, and stewardship, my beloved, is not passive waiting. It is active preparation. It is intentional cultivation. It is deliberate alignment. You are not sitting idle. You are being refined, trained, positioned for what is already written in the courts of heaven. The first responsibility is restraint. You must resist the urge to speak prematurely. Not everyone is assigned to understand what is happening in you. Some are only meant to see the fruit later. Explanation too early invites interference. Silence protects what is still forming. This is not secrecy born from fear. It is wisdom born from discernment. There will be moments when you want to defend yourself, when you want to explain your choices, when you want to justify your decisions to those who question you. Resist that urge. Your assignment does not require their approval. Your calling does not need their validation. Heaven has already spoken. That is enough. The second responsibility is humility. Authority grows best in low soil. The moment ego rises, clarity blurs. You must guard against spiritual pride disguised as confidence. Confidence rests. Pride compares. Confidence listens. Pride speaks unnecessarily. Stay grounded. Stay teachable. Everything you carry was entrusted, not earned. Gratitude keeps the channel open. Entitlement clogs it. I have watched many lose their anointing. Not because heaven revoked it, but because pride corrupted it. They began to believe the gift made them superior rather than responsible. They started using their authority to elevate themselves rather than serve others. They forgot that every gift, every revelation, every measure of grace was given for stewardship, not ownership. The third responsibility is discipline, not harsh discipline, gentle consistency. Maintain your prayer life even when you feel strong. Read scripture not for information but alignment. Choose routines that support peace rather than stimulation. Your inner environment matters now more than ever. The fourth responsibility is patience. You are in the space between confirmation and manifestation. This is where many disrupt their own breakthrough by rushing. Let the divine unfold things in perfect order. Timing is not delay. Timing is protection. Trust it. The fifth responsibility is compassion. As you grow in awareness, you will notice others still trapped in cycles you escaped. Do not judge them. Remember how long your process took. Lead gently, speak with kindness. Authority without compassion becomes control. Your calling is not to correct everyone. It is to remain aligned. Comment: I am ready if you understand the weight of this responsibility. You must also learn to rest without guilt. Rest is obedience in this season. Overexertion will dull your discernment. The divine does not need you exhausted. Clarity comes from rest, not striving. Pay attention to what drains you now. Conversations that feel heavy, environments that feel chaotic, obligations that disrupt peace. Many of you have been conditioned to believe that your worth is tied to your productivity. that your value is measured by how much you accomplish, that rest is laziness disguised as spirituality. But I am telling you now, that is a lie from the enemy designed to burn you out before you ever step into your full assignment. Rest is not the absence of work. Rest is the presence of peace. Rest is choosing to operate from a place of overflow rather than depletion. Rest is trusting that what I have ordained will come to pass whether you stress about it or not. Rest is the ultimate act of faith because it says, I trust that God is working even when I am not. You are allowed to choose differently. Stewardship includes boundaries. Another responsibility is obedience without urgency. You will receive subtle nudges rather than loud instructions. A sense to pause, a feeling to wait, a thought to redirect. Honor those quiet instructions. Your sensitivity is being refined. Obedience now will feel less dramatic but more precise. In previous seasons, I may have spoken to you through dramatic signs, through undeniable confirmations, through circumstances that left no room for doubt. But in this season, I am teaching you to recognize my voice in the whisper, to discern my leading in the gentle impression, to trust my guidance in the subtle knowing. This is not because I have become distant. This is because you have matured. I speak differently to spiritual infants than I speak to those who have learned to walk closely with me. I am training you to hear me in the stillness, to sense me in the silence, to know me in the secret place. You may also notice that blessings come quietly. Opportunities without announcement, favor without fanfare. Receive them with humility. You do not need to broadcast every win. In fact, some of your greatest victories will be the ones only you and heaven know about. The temptation you resisted that no one saw, the patience you maintained when provocation was intense, the kindness you extended when cruelty would have been justified, the integrity you kept when compromise would have been profitable. These are the victories that matter most to me, not the ones that get applause on earth, but the ones that get recorded in heaven, not the ones that impress people, but the ones that please the divine, not the ones that build your reputation, but the ones that build your character. And here is something crucial. Do not revisit old seasons mentally. Do not rehearse pain you already healed from. That pulls you backward emotionally. Honor your growth by staying present. I have watched many of you sabotage your own progress by constantly replaying past hurts, by mentally returning to old wounds, by rehearsing conversations that are long over, by dwelling on offenses that have already been forgiven. This is not reflection. This is regression. This is not processing. This is imprisonment. When you continuously revisit what I have already healed, you are reopening what I have closed. When you mentally camp in seasons I have already delivered you from, you are choosing bondage over freedom. When you rehearse pain instead of recounting victory, you are partnering with the enemy's narrative instead of mine. Walking forward correctly does not require perfection. It requires attentiveness. Stay aware of your inner state. When peace leaves, pause. When clarity blurs, pray. When confusion arises, wait. The divine is not asking you to figure everything out. The ask is simple: stay aligned. The calm before visible manifestation. My beloved child. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders rest. What has been done concerning you is already settled. You are not standing at the edge of uncertainty anymore. You are standing in the quiet space where heaven has spoken and earth is still catching up. Nothing you endured was wasted. Nothing you carried was overlooked. Every silent prayer, every restrained reaction, every moment you chose faith over frustration was seen. And because it was seen, it was answered. Not loudly, not hurriedly, but thoroughly. Every tear you cried in secret was collected. Every night you could not sleep because the weight felt unbearable. I was there. Every time you wanted to give up but chose to take one more step, I witnessed it. Every sacrifice you made that no one acknowledged. Every act of obedience that went unnoticed by human eyes. Every moment you chose my voice over the voice of fear, I recorded it all. And now, my child, you are about to see the fruit of what you sowed in tears. You are about to witness the manifestation of what you carried in faith. You are about to experience the breakthrough that was forged in the furnace of your faithfulness. This calm you feel now is not emptiness. It is readiness. It is the stillness that comes when striving ends and alignment begins. You are not waiting for permission. You are walking with confirmation. And what heaven confirms, no force can reverse. There are powers that tried to stop you. There were assignments against your peace, against your purpose, against your progress. But every weapon formed against you has already been dismantled. Every trap set for your downfall has already been exposed. Every scheme designed to derail you has already been overturned. You are walking in a season of divine reversal. What the enemy meant for harm, I am turning for your good. What was stolen from you in seasons past, I am restoring sevenfold. What was delayed is now being released in accelerated measure. Do not rush what is unfolding. Do not doubt what is already sealed. Let peace lead you. Let patience guard you. Let humility keep you grounded. What is meant for you will arrive without force, without chaos, and without you losing yourself in the process. Remember this always. The divine does not bring chosen ones this far to abandon them in silence. This space teaches trust without fear. You are being prepared for what is about to become visible, and when it does, you will need this inner stability more than excitement. Your responsibility now is to remain present, remain prayerful, remain grounded, because when what heaven has already approved begins to appear visibly, you will need this foundation, and you are being built for that moment right now. If this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew, if it has brought peace to the confusion you have been carrying, I invite you to leave a super thanks as a seed into this ministry. Your generosity allows these messages to reach more souls walking the same sacred path. So walk gently, my beloved. Stay faithful. Trust what heaven has already decided. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right where you need to be, and everything is aligning in ways you cannot yet see, but will soon understand. If this message spoke to your spirit, take a moment now to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with other beloved souls who need this confirmation. Comment heaven has spoken below as a declaration of alignment, peace, and readiness for what has already been released over your life. Walk gently, my child. Your season is shifting, and you are more prepared than you realize. Together, we shall rise toward the light.